Ladies and gentlemen, I believe we are live. Today is a huge day for Tesla shareholders. Just checking that I am live. And I am betting all my Tesla shares on Elon Musk. And yeah, today, what a massive day. In this video, I want to talk a bit about whether or not I think Elon's comp plan is going to get passed. I want to talk a bit about Robotaxi. I want to talk about what I'm expecting Elon to talk about today, what I hope he mentions in the shareholder meeting. I'm also going to talk about Optimus, and I'm going to talk about Robotaxi. So also let me know if you guys have got any comments as well. I'll be happy to answer any questions. So thank you all for being here. First up, what do I expect the result of the Elon's comp package vote today? Well, I'm expecting it to pass with flying colors. I'm not the only person to expect it to pass with flying colors. Let me see if I can share my screen here. First time going live, bear with me. I think I can. You'll be happy to see that on Polymark, there is a 94% chance of Tesla's $1 trillion deal, pay deal being passed today, which is absolutely great to see. Why is everyone so confident? Well, I think there's two key reasons to it. Firstly, if we look back, we have previous examples of this style of comp package going through, and both times have been majorly successful. One time was in 2012. We had a comp package go through, which was very successful, and that was fully vested in 2018, with Tesla receiving, with Elon Musk receiving over $2 billion at the time, equivalent of Tesla stock. So I'm sure Elon was very happy with that. And then, of course, famously, we had the 2018 compensation package, which I think was going to be valued at about $50 billion in the end. We Tesla shareholders voted for that twice. And I am actually not completely sure the final outcome of that, but I know Elon has received billions of dollars of extra shares in light of that. And now we are on to the third round on this. So I personally am very confident that this share package will be getting passed today. Let me see if I can put this on the screen. Ice Wendigo, hi, thank you. You are the first person who's ever commented on one of my live streams, so thank you so much. Elon will vote, so it will pass by an even larger margin than previous. I didn't know if Elon could vote on that. But this brings me on to a second point, which is, why would anyone be owning Tesla stock if they're not going to be invested and interested and wanting to have Elon at the helm of the company, right? Elon said he's not feeling too confident and not feeling too happy about building a robot army if he doesn't have at least 25%. And Optimus is potentially a huge multi-billion, multi-trillion dollar vertical for Tesla. Why would shareholders not want Elon at the helm if that's going to be the future? So I think most shareholders are going to be favorable. The only real concern is a few of the institutionals. So there's kind of like two variables there. So again, let me try and share my screen first. I'm going live, excuse me. I think the biggest risk was going to be the shares held by benchmarking indices, which hold the stock because they're just benchmarking the S&P 500 and what will their decisions going to be. So if we look at that, institutional investors, according to Grok, institutional investors make up around 47%, Elon and other insiders around 15 to 16%, and retail/public investors are 36%. Why would you be holding Tesla stock if you're not fully invested in Elon? Like, why would you have your hard-earned money in Tesla stock if you're not going to invest in Elon? So I think a huge amount of this retail public investors are going to be voting in favorable. And in regards to the institutional investors, I think the only risk was about the passive ownership. So if we take a look at the passive ownership, these are people who are just institutions who are benchmarking against S&P 500. And when we look at the top three, again, according to Grok, we have Vanguard, who owns 7.5% of the company, who are expected to be voting yes, which I've got down here. So Vanguard at 7.5%, they own 242 million shares approximately, are expected to disclose for the negotiations for the pay comp, Elon's comp package. And then BlackRock, again, expected to vote for, which is, again, another 6%. So it just seems to me like this is probably going to be another landslide. Also, we've seen Elon calm down a little bit in the past few days. Which is also great to see as well. We've got another comp here. The norm of 51% is the ones that vote no. The shareholders, not entirely sure what you mean there, Coleman, but feel free to follow up there. So I think that's done. I think it's a done deal. So what else am I hoping to see, and what am I thinking in regards to Tesla moving forward, apart from the comp plan today? So firstly, I want to see some Robotaxi updates today, I think, or I'd love to get something from Elon. I think he does have the opportunity to do some sort of like mic drop moment and be like, yeah, as of today, we are, as of today, we're pulling out the safety drivers, or we're unloading 100 cars into the fleet, or at least give us a roadmap. He said on, I think, the All In pod that he was hoping to get to 500 cars in the Austin fleet without safety drivers by the end of the year. So it'd be good to have a little bit more color on that. And also then, I think looking forward, there's a few things which we might get a little sneak peek into in today's meeting, which would be super good. One is Optimus V3. I'm hoping we get some form of update on Optimus V3, even if we don't get to see it itself. Elon was initially predicting to ramp 5,000 Optimuses this year on version 2.5, but decided instead of launching manufacturing for a suboptimal Optimus, that he would rather actually hunker down, focus on the design of V3, and then start ramping that tomorrow, next year. So fingers crossed we get an opportunity to get some more color on V3, but also a bit of a wild card here. I think there's a chance we actually see something to do with Roadster here. Elon mentioned on Joe Rogan that the Roadster will be one of the greatest all-time demos of any product ever, right? And he said Peter Thiel was talking about us getting robotaxis, getting flying cars in the future, and I can't remember what Peter Thiel says. All we got is bits or something, and you know, the word on the street is that robotaxi is going to potentially be flying. And when he mentioned it to Joe Rogan, he said that product demo is going to be ready in a couple of months. Now, it's November the 6th. A couple of months is like January the 6th. Do I expect Elon to be doing a January January Roadster demonstration? No, I don't. I wonder if he was sandbagging. I'm wondering if that's what we're going to get tonight. How epic would that be if so? I think there's definitely a chance of that. So I would love to get some more color on Robotaxi, Optimus, and Roadster. But then I think there's a few important things which I think might happen. And you know, when we're thinking about the future of the company, when we had Elon's shareholder meeting, I think it might have been 2 years ago when they revealed their latest master plan, we got a lot of new information about where the company was going over the next few years. I hope we get some good information as to where the company is going over the next few years. The plan for sustainable abundance, that's huge. But what I think people are underestimating as well is how much money it's going to cost for Tesla to launch Optimus. Brett Winton, chief futurist from ARK Invest, was recently doing a podcast, and he says he predicts Tesla's going to need to spend, or the Optimus project is going to need $200 billion on AI infrastructure, on compute to train the neural nets which Optimus will be inferencing from. Now, that alone is a huge amount of money. Tesla's well capitalized at the moment. I think they've got nearly zero debt and $40 billion on their balance sheet, but that is an awful lot of cash. So this kind of makes Robotaxi even more important, because if Robotaxi can scale be ramping heavily by mid to late next year. Elon said he thinks it's going to be impacting financials in a big way by mid to next year. That can help bankroll hundreds of billions of dollars of investment into Tesla's Optimus. And if that's not the case, it's going to be a little bit more challenging to make those huge investments. We've seen companies like Meta making huge AI investments and actually getting hammered recently in the stock market. So that's going to be a challenge for sure. One of the moats around Robotaxi is the investment has been baked into Tesla's original business model for a decade, which is one of the phenomenal moats. If you think about how much it costs to make 6 million cars, right? It's billions, maybe hundreds of billions of dollars to make 6 million cars. Each one of those already has a $2,000 worth of cameras and AI chip, inferencing chip, which can run full self-driving. So because Tesla's already built that out, supposedly and hopefully with a software update, those cars are now robotaxis. The challenge for Waymo is they've got to build every single one of those cars. So it's billions of dollars that they're spending in capex up front to then get the recurring revenue from a robotaxi network. Tesla's already built that out. That's one of their moats, and that's puts them in a crazy lead. But with Optimus, this capex has to come up front, because Tesla's not going to be making any money from Optimus until those investments have been made, and then the product's been refined, the design has been refined, the AI integration, which is going to be the hardest thing, has been refined, and then it's scaled, and then it's deployed, and then it's sold at mass scale. So that's going to take a huge amount of capex, and it's kind of important for Tesla to get into a position where they have a business making a huge amount of capex, cash flow, to help fund that. Now, I don't think Tesla has a issue with their capitalization at the moment, but I think that's going to massively help. And when you compare them to like a Figure AI, which is a startup, which has got reasonably good capitalization, partly because they've just done a round at 40 billion, I think $38 billion. Having like Robotaxi spending off like $1 billion a month is just going to make it way, way easier for Tesla to go full send onto that. So yeah, if anyone's got any questions or anything, we can dive in and have a little look. Now, Colin, Dave, you have a really great show. How do I go about contacting you about advertising on your show? Oh, blimey, I wasn't expecting that. I do have an email in the description. It's not in there now. I will put it in there very shortly. If you go into other videos, you can see an email in there, which you can email me. Thank you, Colin. Why in the past Hollywood and woke companies demonstrated they're willing to lose billions to push a political agenda? I don't know. You're going to have to ask someone else about that one. That's the only reason to vote against their own interests, but that doesn't matter because their votes will pass. Agree. Let me know if you guys have got any other questions. It's the first time I've gone live. Do you enjoy this kind of format? And yeah, what are you expecting? Maybe what are some of you guys expecting for the Tesla shareholder meeting today? Are you expecting it to be passed? What other updates would you like to see from Elon? I'd be interested to know. Feel free to drop any questions for me now. So yeah, I think that just about sums up most things which I am looking forward to from today's call. So no more questions. I'm going to wrap this sucker up there. If you enjoyed this kind of format, let me know in the comments. If no one lets me know in the comments, maybe I won't bother doing it again. But if you guys did like it, maybe we can make this a recurring format. Thank you guys. Appreciate the support. The channel's been doing great recently. So thanks all for everyone who has been supporting it. And if you haven't already, why not consider subscribing? Thank you guys. Cheers.